Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
And this is what it's all about, the last one, how candles can help improve market timing for your option trades. Now, I think, can we all agree that the more you know, the more confident you'll be. And what we've learned so far in this short session, hopefully it'll help you not only avoid a potentially bad trade, but get into trades early. And if you like what you learned in this brief session and really want to go to the next levels, all right, then I'd suggest my educational resources. Okay, it's nisonspecial.ise.com, and I'll just cut and paste it here. And what we do is we ask for your email address. We do not give your email address out to anybody. All right, and once you fill this in, you'll get my all-time most important trading rules. See, the issue is, or challenge is, yes, you can have a candle signal and a Western signal, but we always should focus on trade management. Trade management, stop-out levels, price targets, adapting to changing market conditions. And I have one trading rule that to me is my most important trading rule, and you'll learn that very quickly with this. And then you can continue your free education also. Every 2 weeks, I do an educational video newsletter. We send it to your email. Again, your email is kept strictly confidential. And you get, in fact, when you sign up, you'll get the first one within 30 seconds. We have one all set to go to your email address as soon as you fill it in. So there's a great way to continue your free education, and there's more educational resources as well. But this is a great way, a no-cost way to really continue your education, kind of basing it on what we went over here. Because, as I mentioned at the beginning, we just started down the educational path. But even with this basic information, I hope you've uncovered some golden trading ideas to really improve your timing, to pinpoint those great option trades, and just as importantly, to really start having the rock-solid confidence to take advantage of them, because there's some great opportunities out there. So thank you so much for joining me. Go to this link, and you could read, the resources that we have. Again, this is free. So with that, I'll stay around for any questions that you may have, and I'll turn it over to you, Steve, for the meantime, or should I just?
Yeah, I'll grab it back,
okay.
Steve. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
A lot of information. As you said, the best thing to do if you're interested more in candlesticks is really go to Steve's site, www.nisonspecial.com/ISE, and you'll be able to learn a lot more. I think he's piqued your interest. I'm getting a lot of great questions. So, Steve, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Number one, I know this is a difficult question. I get this very often from options traders, and you being an expert in candlesticks, but I don't know if you're going to be able to really answer this one. Stops. Where do you prefer to place your stop? I know you've been around the markets for many, many years, and do candles help you at all in that regard? This is from Susan again.
Yeah, sure. We made reference to, one of the great things about the candles is that you could use them as support or resistance areas. So the low of the hammer should be support. So if the market, and I think one of the slides we looked at before, and I guess this will be archived so that you could review it, but in one of the slides with the hammer, I talked about how to set a stop under the low of the hammer. So normally what I suggest is setting a stop on a close under, say, the low of the hammer. And you could do that because with options, it's a lot easier to do with options than an outright position. But yes, you could definitely use candles to set your stop-out levels and your danger points, yes.
Thanks, Steve. A question from Guy. He says, how many candles construct a signal? Is there a certain number?
I'm not sure what he means, but you could have.
I guess what he's saying is it 2 candles? Is it 3? Is it I guess you need more than one, obviously, because you're comparing one to another. But I mean, do you need to have a certain number?
The candle signal could be a single signal like a hammer. It could be a double signal like a dolphin pattern. Right.
Okay. So it could be 1. It could be 2.
It could be 3. There's morning and evening stars. But the point is, that the candle signals are one aspect. We also need to think about combining the candles with Western signals and then trade management. But yeah, we looked at some of the single candle lines. We looked at some of the double candle lines, like the engulfing patterns. But there's also triple candle signals, like the morning and evening stars and so forth. But most of the candle signals are 1 or 2 sessions.
Thank you. David has a question about the evening star. Can you explain that?
No, sir. And I don't mean to be rude, but I could spend hours here. I just want to focus on what we talked about here.
That's a difficult one, right?
Right. This is a basic introduction here, and I don't want to start getting to patterns that we can talk about.
Do we talk about engulfing? Yes. Mina wants to know about the engulfing pattern, and I guess how can you? What do you do after you see that engulfing pattern? Do you always reverse your view, or what kind of comments do you have on that?
Well, the engulfing pattern is just the first step in your signal. See, we have what we call at our shop the trading triad success system, and triad is Latin word for 3. So candles is one leg of the triad, Western technicals is the second leg, and the third leg is trade management. So the engulfing pattern is a potential reversal signal, but there's other things you need to look at. Is it confirming a Western signal? Is there a good risk reward in the trade? The answer to the question is the candles are one important signal, but as I mentioned before, it might be the final trigger, but it should normally not be used as the only reason for a trade.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.